Morning, guys. I just wanted to make a quick video, kind of go over some of yesterday's answers. Planning on having a meet today. Just a little concerned with being home and not. I feel like last time we tried it with the internet and the size of the call just didn't work out as well. So, quick video. I'll try to talk a little faster than Penny and some of the others that we've listened to throughout the last couple of months. But I think the worksheet was pretty self-explanatory. Looking at some of the worksheets that you turned in, you guys I think handled this well. The biggest thing that I think we need to take away is just understanding the conditions and what they get us. Where they get us, right? So what the 10% condition kind of satisfies, and what the large counts condition, large counts for proportion, for means, as we saw here, the central limit theorem, kind of what the name of them and their purpose. I think that's a big, that's important here. So for the first question, all you had to do here was just identify the mean and the standard deviation. But you'll notice in question B, it says, is it possible to calculate the standard deviation? If it isn't, explain why. So you want to make sure that you are kind of addressing that question and not just finding 1.58. So I just said, yeah, we can assume that our sample size here is less than 10% of the population. So we can go ahead and find our standard deviation. For part C, do you know the approximate shape? Well, the problem didn't tell us anything about the distribution being normal. So we had to come up with a different route here to figure out the shape of the sampling distribution. And because it's means, it's the central limit theorem, which tells us that if something is at least 30, we could say it's approximately normal. But again, here with a small sample size, we cannot say. Whoops, sorry. As I'm reading this to you, I noticed a little typo in my work here. Because the sample is small, we cannot say it is approximately normal. Sorry, guys. We cannot say. All right, so that's a little mistake there. Even though that the population distribution was skewed to the right, that doesn't mean our sampling distribution would. Again, if the sample size was larger, it would be approximately normal. Okay. In question 2, about the apples, let me say so. Here in the problem, in the scenario, and it's as it introduces it to it, it says it is normally distributed. Okay, great. So in this case, it doesn't matter how big the sample is. It could be 3, 15, it could be larger than 30. It doesn't matter because the population distribution is normal. Therefore, the sampling distribution is. Okay. So I just did menu 552, norm CDF. And I did write it here. I want to just make sure you guys are starting to get into that habit as we get closer and closer to the AP test. Where we're not just, we're going to label what we enter into the calculator. So I just abbreviated lower bound, upper bound, mean, and standard deviation. I did that for both A and B. The difference in B is that they talk about a sample of 3 apples, which means, all right, well, now if we find a sample mean, we know that there's going to be less variation, right? The larger the sample size, the less variation. So I had to find a new standard deviation, okay, using that formula. So the only difference in what I plugged in my calculator was the standard deviation, and it made our probability a lot less. And the reason for that is because it's just less varied. And because it's less varied, it's going to be less likely to get a mean that's going to weigh above 400, okay? If we sampled 10 apples, that probability would be even smaller, okay? So again, I think you noticed in the multiple choice, I think there were some questions that kind of addressed those things. What happens when the sample size increases? Some good questions there. So take a look at this video, maybe with start class. And then, like I said, we'll tune into the meet today. And my plan is to kind of answer any questions we might have had with 1 through 10, to highlight some important things. And then for us to try on our own the free response questions 11, 12, and 13. Okay. And then out of the book. and then we'll come back hopefully tomorrow together in class, and we'll see how we're doing. I think I think we have a good grasp of this chapter. So hopefully we're still good to test Thursday. But that's it, guys. All right, I'll see you. I'll see you on the meet today.